pushed out. And notably, the Secretary of the Army, who was a close personal friend of Vice President J.D. Vance, publicly defended that general and basically said, I was bummed that he got pushed out. But Hegseth was, apparently frustrated with him. So this is the latest instance. I also think it's interesting to Arthur's point, because I spoke to somebody at the Pentagon to try to get clarity on, we're in the middle of a naval blockade. How does the Secretary of the Navy get pushed out? The way the administration is spinning it is that the Secretary of the Navy, not day-to-day combat operations. They argue that U.S. Central Command, which has its own commander, Brad Cooper, who's been overseeing everything, he's the one overseeing this blockade.
Trump administration, there was almost no dissension, no backbiting, nobody trying to undermine each other. We've entered in a new phase. And I think it's also important to remember that Abraham Lincoln fired a lot of generals, and they had fired a lot of generals about how the prosecution of that conflict was going on at the time. So presidents do this, and secretaries of war do that. But what we're seeing is the lack of consensus among those people leading the Pentagon on how to prosecute these conflicts, how to manage our people. Marine helicopter, staged itself out of Kid Rock, and those pilots were put on suspension, and Hegseth brought them back. So it's not just about Iran or, blowing boats out of the water out off of Venezuela or other kinds of things that we know that there's been tension. There are many fronts where there are very fundamental differences between.
The White House announced Labor Secretary Lori Chavez de Remer had stepped down from her role. Keith Sonderling, Deputy Secretary of Labor, is temporarily going to step in. The resignation comes after into complaints about her alleged misconduct, including having an affair with a subordinate, drinking alcohol on the job, using taxpayer-funded travel to visit with friends and family. Chavez de Remer's husband, Sean, has also been barred from the Labor Department headquarters after several staffers said he touched them inappropriately. Police and prosecutors investigated the allegation but declined to bring charges. Steve, to your point, as we're thinking about the state of President Trump's cabinet, we also saw since March, we've former Department of Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem, former Attorney General Pam Bondi. What's the state of the president's cabinet at this point?
I think right now they're flushing out people that are